you won't have choices on custom materials unless you want to call me, and get it made direct. But of course, then it'll be a custom price.
Yep.
So I picked out 3 materials that I'm ecstatic about. If you want my personal opinion, that green is phenomenal. It's really, really difficult to photograph that green and the red, to be honest with you,
Yeah.
and really capture the depth.
And we're excited too, because these were 2 materials we were considering for the premiere, and we had to narrow it down, and disappointed we couldn't use them. So now we get to see them again.
And we'll confess to everybody that we knew that the Hudson was going to be coming out at the time that we were designing the premiere. Actually, Brian, you had the Hudson planned before we were even talking about the premiere.
Quite honestly, the Hudson has been planned for a very long time, probably 5 or 6 months. But the truth is, I just haven't had the manpower, just basically running things alone, to get it launched. I've always been so busy with my retail line, and my retail line, honestly, right now is back ordered probably 5 or 6 weeks. That doing this production stuff was really difficult, but my wife has a lot more free time, and then we have a part-time employee that comes once or twice a week, so that helps tremendously with this. So honestly, this pen was planned probably 6 months ago, but I just couldn't get it off the ground, working 5-6 days a week on retail. So now that my wife has more free time and we have, we can bring someone in, that's how this is happening. So,
I love this question. Is there a U.S.-wide shortage of Oompa Loompas? All of you guys seem to be terribly overworked.
How much does an Oompa Loompa charge per hour?
I don't know. Right now, Nathan and Noodlers has got them all.
I don't think we'd have to pay FICA on Oompa Loompas.
RU32 today, you were asking about, so the premiere is bigger than the Herald.
Yeah. No, I'm sorry, the premiere is smaller than the Herald.
It's thinner, yeah.
Well, yeah, I'm sorry, we should rephrase that. It's thinner, but it's slightly longer.
There you go.
It's like,
and then the Hudson is actually a pretty sizable, dare I say, masculine pen. By the time I'm ready to launch, I'll have some photos with a ruler, maybe even scaled next to my other pens. But I'm pretty excited because the wholesale line has been proven to be a lot of fun. Obviously, when I'm doing custom pens, sometimes I can only do maybe 2 a day. And, doing everything completely custom and resetting the lathes for every operation takes up tons of time. And now that I can just focus on 3 materials, do the same part over and over and over, and do it like an assembly line, I can get my pens to a more attainable range. No difference in quality. It's just that because I'm eliminating the custom step and doing it like an assembly line, and also getting some help, it makes things a lot easier. So we actually have a bunch of the Hudsons already inventoried. We're just waiting for a good day to launch it and when things slow down a little bit. So maybe it'll be as early as next week. Most likely it might be 2 weeks. So you guys better get ready. I'm ready to sell them right now.
Oh my gosh. I bet you as soon as we pick a date, we're going to get Noodler's Flex pens in, and it's just going to be chaos. If anyone knows the Oompa Loompas, we'll hire you.
And then the new Rhodia shipment will come in early.
Oh,
or
yeah,
something.
it's supposed to come in May. No, stuff from overseas never comes in early.
Yeah, that's true. It'll probably come in.
Don't worry about that.
Yeah, it's already been delayed.
Someone's asking me to do a test of the Hudson, see how it feels in my hand. Hey, Brian, do you have any prototypes to send us?
Yes, actually, I apologize, Rachel and Brian. I have on my to-do list to send you 3 pens.
Awesome.
It's still on the to-do list, and hopefully I can get them shipped this week.
Sounds great.
Yeah, if you send us pens, you're going to get videos and free promotion done out of that. So
that's my motivation, of course.
Exactly.
Question: did we hire that kid? We have a couple employees. We
got a couple. We got a couple of helpers. We may actually be hiring some more. Because we're pretty busy.
If you're in the area.
Part of the reason that you guys see a lot more videos these days is because we got some help with some of the more, menial tasks around here.
You'll work for pens.
There's definitely a lot of stuff around here that Rachel and I are completely integral in doing. But, there are some things that we can get some help. And,
Someone's asking what area. We're just outside of Richmond, Virginia.
Yeah.
Someone said you commute from Washington State. Just a little hard to telecommute and do.
Yeah.
A little hard to telecommute.
And we work hard.
He'd be your boss. So
I'm a pretty tough boss.
That as a.
I'm a pretty tough boss. It's all laughs and giggles here, but as soon as the camera goes off, crack that whip. You know.
mean? Well, I'm his boss, so.
Well, that's what I mean.
I do the whip cracking.
She's the one cracking the whip. Is that how it is with you, Brian? Is Andrea out there cracking that whip for you?
I don't know. I think it just depends on who's in the worst mood.
Oh goodness.
Oh man.
Oh goodness.
Okay. Does anybody else have any questions about any of the
Any questions
stuff?
for Brian Gray while he's on the phone?
Yeah.
If anyone is interested, I know the Goulets are so good about doing weekly broadcasts. I've always convinced myself that I would never have enough content to do a weekly broadcast, but I think that if I put more effort into it, I would. But I am going to definitely put more effort into doing something like this. Obviously, I won't compete with these guys on Tuesday, but maybe on Wednesday nights I can, ride on these guys' coattails. I don't mind doing, demonstrations of how pens are being made, but, whenever I had the webcam that was running daily, honestly, it's just the same thing. It's not that tremendously interesting to watch the lathe running. And besides, one of the reasons that I do the webcam only by appointment now is that I got wind of other pen makers watching me and kind of stealing my ideas and stealing my secrets. So once I figured that out, I thought, this is not cool. So, if anybody, send me an email and say, hey, what's going on in the shop today? Maybe fire up the webcam. I have no problem with that. But when I was doing it 8 hours a day, and then I go to these pen making forums and someone says, well, here's how Brian Gray does it, and it's, that's just not cool. So I have no idea what they're really gathering, and if they're gathering information that I don't want them, just anyone to get. The purpose of the webcam was really so that my customers can watch and also give live feedback as I make their pen. And I still do that, but it's usually by appointment. So,
I like Allie's comment. You could spend an hour showing clips and letting them name them.
that'd be all right.
Squid clip.
Yeah.
Hey, by the way, I apologize, I was late today. What are you guys' thoughts of Justin TV versus Ustream? You guys went over here.
We're very happy with it because, well, it works.
It works.
And you can upload your video directly to YouTube, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if Justin TV has less traffic and therefore it's more reliable, because I think the Ustream is probably the biggest. Am I?
You know what? I think Charlie Sheen ruined it.
Yeah, ever since Charlie Sheen started his show, Ustream has gone downhill.
Ustream is not winning anymore.
Oh my! I had no idea.
Ustream is winning.
Well, we've been using
it stopped
Ustream.
working in the past 2 weeks.
We've been using Ustream for a year, and in the last couple of weeks, the quality is just plummeted.
The one thing that I noticed, it seems like instead of having 30% of the audience chatting and then 70% just sitting there and doing nothing, it seems like it's a lot easier to get a quick Justin TV account. You just put in your email, and it seems like with Ustream there's probably a little bit more hassle, and maybe that contributes to a lot more lurkers and less contributors. Do you agree with that? It's just my first impression.
And here your emoticons are monkeys, and that's kind of cool. Or gorillas, or whatever they are.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's from an admin perspective, it's super easy to broadcast, and you can actually follow people, and as soon as you broadcast, it sends out a message to all your followers letting you know you're broadcasting. So that's cool too.
Yeah. And
the one thing that I do like, and the one thing that I do like about Ustream is that I can go through Flash Media Encoder, so I can use my video camera with a FireWire cable.
You can do that here.
Really high quality. You can do the same thing here?
You can do it here, or you can use
QuickTime broadcast.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Which we tried, but we're having trouble with it. But we'll keep playing with it.
Got it. Okay, I'll consider that for my broadcast too.
Yeah.
And just so everybody knows, things have been so super busy, thanks mostly to the Goulets with getting a lot of the premieres out. I just haven't had time to do a lot of blog posts or video blogs. So I'm due, and Andrea and I decided that we're just taking a day off tomorrow. I'm just going to do some emails and some admin stuff. We've been so busy lately that we just haven't had a day to ourselves.
Oh, lucky duck.
What's a day off?
Last week, Andrew was on spring break, and so we had him in the shop with us. Imagine a 5-year-old running around. So I think that put a bit of a strain on us. And so anyways, we're taking at least a half day. I got to do one pen tomorrow, and then I'm going to try and knock off by 10 or 11. So maybe I'll take that time to set things up with Justin TV.
Yeah, it literally took us maybe half hour to get things up and running,
Oh,
and that's just
not
'cause-
even.
No, that's just
That's
because
because we were farting around with it.
Yeah, we were dumb.
We were fiddle farting around with it.
The couple things. One is you can't do polls on Justin TV.
Oh man, that was huge.
I know.
Well,
But you know what? You know what I just discovered is on Facebook on your page you can do a poll.
Yeah. I've seen those popping up everywhere lately.
Yeah, that's news. That's kind of cool. The other question is that are Edison pens that are more feminine? Someone suggested the Mina as being a more feminine design.
Yeah, I think that the Mina is probably. I mean, essentially what happened was. The Mina was really a direct result of my wife. We'd be at pen shows, and a lot of times, ladies or people with smaller hands would try out our pens, and boy, I really like it, but it was just a touch smaller. I would like it better. And that's what the result of the Mina was mostly my wife saying there's too many people that are going by our table because, the pens are too big for small hands. So the Mina actually uses a smaller nib. I would say the most feminine pens that I offer would be the Mina or the Nouveau Premier. I don't think that there's anyone that I've heard complain that the Premier is not small enough for them.
I think the grip is on the small side.
From an engineering standpoint, and I won't get too detailed into this, there's number 6 nibs and there's number 5 nibs. Number 6 nibs are what you see on 90% of pens out there, and what it means is the feed is 6 millimeters wide. Okay? Now, a number 5 nib, you can guess the feed is 5 millimeters wide. Now, the number 5 nibs are most common, like with kit pens and pen makers that are doing things from kits. But it's not used real commonly throughout, the production pen community. Mostly number 6 nibs are used. So the reason that I'm bringing this up is that the section of the Nouveau pen is about as thin as you can possibly get a section to be and still use a number 6 nib. If you take that section from the Premier pen and cut it on a cross section, you'd probably be amazed at how thin that really gets. Now, it's not delicate to where it's going to break, of course. I considered that within my engineering. But if you're looking for a feminine pen that uses a standard sized nib, I would say that the Premier is an excellent candidate. Give that one a shot. And then the Mina does use that smaller number 5 nib. So, of course, it does get even smaller than what the Premier does. But from, comparing my offerings to other production pen companies where we're all generally using number 6 nibs, that Premier is about as thin as what we can get.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There was another question.
People have been commenting about the Edison Nouveau, how even though it's a relatively thin section for a pen that size, how it's still comfortable for both men and women. And that was honestly kind of the reason we chose it, is because it was a collaborative effort, not just on the part of us Brian G's, but also on the Mrs. G's as well. And Rachel and I wanted a pen that we could both use, because we hold our pens so differently, and our hand sizes are so different.
It's an androgynous pen.
An androgynous pen. There you go. Yeah. So we went with something.
Name the pen the Pat.
The Pat.
What's that? It's Pat.
Oh gosh.
Someone asked how sales were going at the Edison Nouveau Premier and if we're happy with it. I think I can speak for all of us and say we're very happy with how it's turned out. I think even beyond what we expected.
Yeah. On my end, I don't know that we could be happier over here. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
And what's more important is not just how they've sold, but the feedback we've gotten has been phenomenal. I mean, people love the pen. You can go on Fountain Pen Network. There's several threads going on right now.
And we get a
on
lot of
Fountain Pen
emails
Network.
too. I know Brian Gray gets emails too. Just a lot of positive feedback.
Yeah, which is great. I mean, it's so validating, especially when we collaborate and come up with something custom like this, to then have people come back and say, how much they really like it and how enjoyable it is. It's like, oh, thank goodness, all these months of work hasn't just been like a total flop,
Yeah, one thing that's also worth discussing on this design, and I think it kind of goes back to not just the androgyny of the pen, if you will, but also
universality.
Universality?
Is that a word?
Universalness.
Yeah, I think that another thing that's worth mentioning is that not only is it good in those regards as far as the width goes. But also notice one thing that I should say, purposely wanted to do was to make sure that the transition from the section to the barrel threads to the barrel itself was as seamless as possible. Like if you look at my Huron pen, that's what I was after with that. If you look at my Pearl, there's a huge step. Now, most people that doesn't bother, but for people that hold their pen high, in other words, away, like your fingers are a good inch or so away from the end of the section or the nib, then this becomes bothersome. So with this pen, that's what we were after was, whether you hold the pen, I think that most people hold the pen at the grip section, where the section is itself. But if you hold the pen a little bit higher on the barrel threads or on the barrel itself, it doesn't feel uncomfortable at all. Part of that is because I made sure that the transitions were seamless, but I also used, not to get too technical, I used a thread pitch of 36 teeth per inch, and when you get that fine, it really doesn't bother your fingers the same way that like 30 or 28 or 24 would.
Yeah, you really, you can obviously feel that threads are there, but like personally when I hold it, I hold my thumb pretty much right on the threads, but I really don't even feel the threads while I'm writing. Like mine, yeah, grab another one. I got yours.
I know, I got yours.
I kind of, when I hold it, I hold like my fingers right kind of in the dip of that grip section, and then my thumb kind of goes right on the threads. That's just where my hand kind of naturally falls.
I'm kind of rocking the threads too. I hold mine pretty close.
She strangles her pen.
Even if you do, even if your fingers do touch those threads, the transition is not a big deal, and the threads also aren't a pitch where your fingers are really going to be bothered by it.
Here's all three times, Brian.
Oh, yeah. For those of you that don't know what the Nouveau Premiere is, there you go. Ta-da!
Horrible lighting, but you get it.
Yeah. So.
Rachel's grandson gets his hand smacked for holding his pen like that. It's what's comfortable. You gotta write comfortably. Gripism. Yeah, Allie's on my side. Allie and I, we know where it's at. We held our hands the right way. Alien grip. What? I just have small fingers, small hands. It's what's comfortable. Yeah,
I'm
everyone
just
else
curious,
is wrong.
since I have a pretty large audience right here. Actually, this is really the first time that anyone has seen that Hudson pen. I'm just wondering what people's reactions are. Now, I know it might be difficult to give initial reaction without seeing it to scale next to any other pen. I can tell you that capped, it's probably around 6 inches. Uncapped, it's probably about 5 3/4. I'll put the gallery up again. Oh, there it is.
I
it
posted.
for me. So I'm just curious if anybody has, it's past the prototype stage, but it certainly isn't, outside of the realm of making some minor changes. I'm wondering if anybody has any feedback on the design of that pen itself. It's a brand new clip. The colors, I think, are phenomenal. That green, essentially, I invested in a lot of sheet stock from Italy, and you can imagine when FedEx shows up and they've got these monstrous sheets of plastic that weigh, I have no idea, I'm guessing more than 100 pounds each. They wonder what the heck I do. But anyways, any feedback at all, it's still in the, love the green.
Looks great, love the colors.
Asking for a matte finish on the black for the Hudson.
Yeah.
We had people asking about gloss for the Premiere. Now we got matte for the Hudson.
That would be a custom pen, I think, right?
Yeah, if you wanted a matte finish on the Hudson, then it would be custom, but it would be unfortunate to charge so much to get that. Of course it would be possible, but it's not something that you would be able to get through the retailers.
Right.
Yeah.
It would be direct from me.
Someone said it needs a veggie peeler clip, but otherwise it looks really nice.
The funny thing is, the veggie peeler clip looked great on that pen.
Really?
No, I'm joking.
Uh-oh.
That veggie peeler is in the kitchen knife drawer.
I think our next Edison Nouveau has to use a squid clip, and he made the point, squid squirt ink. It's perfect.
Yeah.
If you look at, there's a pen company named, I think it's Dragon Pens, But keep in mind, we're talking about their pens are cast from solid gold and sterling silver, and I'm not joking when I say that they start in the $5,000 range. Their offering is called the Squid.
Huh.
It's phenomenal because the cap itself. If I can find a link, I mean, not to get off topic, we should discuss our own products, but if I can find a link. No big deal. Anyways, Google Dragon pens or Squid Dragon pens, and you'll see a phenomenal pen. They actually, the people that make that is they're friends of mine in California, and they just do some phenomenal stuff with pens. But anyways, you're also talking about, I believe that they start at $5,000. So some people think 150 is a pretty ridiculous.
Whoa! I just found one at Art Brown. It's 18,000.
Yeah,
Wow.
I think that's the one that's solid gold.
Yep.
Yeah.
With sapphire eyes. My goodness.
Wow.
But the idea of the Squid has been taken.
Wow.
Oh, I
Oh
see.
yeah, they do look like a squid.
But take a look at how the cap removes.
I'm gonna post a link. I know it's to Art Brown, but I
The
mean,
rollerballs-
we're not gonna carry it.
the
so.
rollerballs are only
wait a second
$37.50.
here. I'll post a link direct from their site rather than Art Brown.
Oh, oops.
Bassett,
All right.
Bassett, the price is going to be around $150. Have you set a definite price on those, Brian, or at least an MSRP? Since I guess it's going to be sold through multiple retailers.
You know, honestly, I haven't nailed it down yet. I can tell you this much: it's going to be in the same ballpark as the Premier. So let's not make any promises, but it's going to be in the ballpark of the Premier.
There you
I'm
go.
considering making the MSRP maybe $145 instead of $150. So it's going to be no more than the Premier, but please don't hold me to that yet. Possibly less, by maybe like $5 or so, maybe $10. I don't know yet.
And the question, when is it available? Probably about 2 weeks or so.
Yeah, to be honest, there's probably about 25 of them out there right now inventoried, but I need to make contacts with a lot of the retailers that will be carrying them, like I said, but forget that I said that because we're all going to buy them from the Goulets, right?
I was gonna say I could throw it up on the web with a.
I need to do a couple more items of homework as far as retailers are concerned, and then I'm ready to go. But you know, as far as I'm concerned, if the Goulets want to put it up on their website now, let's start selling them.
Do you want to start selling them, or
well,
start like an
pre-order,
email
or
list? Not a pre-order, but just like an email in stock list, just to make sure that you have time to build up the inventory you need.
No, I mean, honestly, like I said, there's more than 25 out there right now, and we're working on more this week and next week, anticipating maybe an initial rush. Now that might
I'll put it up
the initial
tonight.
rush
I mean,
might
I
wipe
don't.
all those out, which is fine, but we can keep up with that.
So they're actually like done, ready to ship, ready to go.
in the box.
Wow.
I'll put them up tonight.
Okay.
You guys
For
want
owners.
me to put them up tonight?
Well, now the only thing though is
We finalize price, of course.
no. Well, yeah, I mean, but heck, all I got to do is put some more thoughts into it. You know, if you want to take orders right now and make the price $150, and then if later I decide to bring it down a little bit, we can refund some funds to people if we need to. Feel free to do that. Now, the only setback to this right now is that the photos that I have don't have the engraved nibs. So, you know what? Honestly, let's do
Well,
this.
you
If
know what?
anybody who's watching this broadcast tonight wants to place an order, and this is up to you guys as well. If anybody that's watching this tonight wants to place the order, you know, within the next couple of days, let's make the price $140, as long as they understand that it'll be with the engraved nibs. Do you guys, would that be okay with you guys?
Now, is this a special thing just for people in the broadcast, or just
Yeah, let's just do it for the next couple of days. And if you're watching this broadcast tonight and you want $10 off of the pen, now keep in mind, I haven't set the real price yet. It might be $145, but I'm thinking it's just the same as the Premier $150.
I think we should keep talking on the phone after this broadcast and nail it out. I don't want to put it on the web if we don't know the price.
Okay, all right. I'll tell you what.
And it will. All of them do have the engraved nib, correct? It just that we
It
don't
will
have a
have the
picture.
engraved nib. The only reason I was telling you to hold up right now is because the photographs that are on SmugMug, of course, you can grab those and post whatever you want and start selling them tonight, but they don't have the engraved nibs. So maybe I could take some photos tomorrow, send them off to you guys, and we could be ready.
Yeah,
We could be ready
I
tomorrow,
don't
honestly.
think the picture's a deal breaker. I think if we say, hey, this does have the
Yeah.
logo, and as soon as we get new pictures, we'll just replace them. I don't think it's a big deal.
Yeah, I think we can
Well-
clarify enough in the text that it comes with the engraved nib.
But like I said, tomorrow I'm going to try and take some time off anyway, so I'm sure I could take 20 minutes and get some good photographs with the engraved nibs.
Well, I'll throw them up with the pictures you have now, and then I'll just replace them when you get new pictures.
If you'd like to, feel free.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah. We'll hook you guys
We got
up.
nothing going on.
Why not?
Yeah.
Why not? Man, we're getting new stuff so quickly. Like we can't spotlight anything enough before it's replaced by the next new thing.
I know, we just put the black matte
And
vanishing
then we got
points
the
up
Sailor
today.
Ink. The Sailor Ink don't even have a chance. 'Cause now
Well, I'll tell you what. You want to
the
do this?
same thing happened with Sailor before. We got it in new, but the Edison Nouveau Premiere came out. And I was like,
It was up for like 3 hours.
I know.
Why don't we do this? Since we have the attention of 78-some people, if we did move this quickly and got it through and ready to sell tomorrow, how many people would be interested right now? Just give a yes or a no or whatever. And if we get a lot of yeses, let's just get it going in the next couple of days.
You have a family argument. Husband likes the green, and you like the red or the blue. Or the red or the blue Premiere. Interested, green plus a Premiere. Okay.
Insufficient funds.
Oh, wah wah.
Green.
That's
red.
all right. It's not for everyone, and it's the sort of thing you can save up for. I don't want anyone to feel pressured here. You know, you guys are all anonymous in the chat, so don't. You know, I don't want
sorry,
anyone.
maybe I shouldn't have.
I don't want anyone to feel pressured.
Well, at least the chat's not recorded, so, you know, it's just
Yeah.
whoever else is there.
College student. Oh, totally understand. Yeah, then you definitely should not buy one. Save your
Well,
cash.
I'll tell you what,
Get a
I
job.
really think there's enough interest to go ahead and get this rolling. I mean,
Okay.
and not only that, but honestly, Brian and Rachel, you've been so great to work with on the premiere. How about I'll give you like a 2-week head start on the other people that might be selling this, and that'll be good for all of us. How's that?
Okay,
Sure.
we'll take it.
Do you want to set the price at $150?
Yeah, let's do that, and then if I make a decision differently, then we can figure out if people would just do a refund or something. Would you be okay with that in case I make a last minute decision to bring it down by $5 or $10?
Yeah, or we could do I think the easiest thing would probably be like issue a store credit or something like that for those people. Because then you get into getting into refunds and it gets messy. I mean, I'll do it if we need to.
People chomping at the bit to give you money.
It's not the worst problem in the world.
I can speak on Brian, probably on Brian and Rachel's behalf. It's for me, it's been amazing to make a living as a pen maker, and I think that you guys feel the same. That it's pretty neat to be able to do what we like and produce a product and give service that people find valuable. So
The only problem is, Brian, lately, thanks to the Premiere and the Vanishing Point, some of these other pens that have been coming in, I'm getting a taste for nicer pens.
I know.
And I don't like it. I can't go back to like the Preppies and the scripts.
I'm using the Pilot Parallel as my workhorse, and you're using like.
I know. I've been using Pelican scripts for so long, and like been an advocate of cheap
Now you're using
pens.
like $200 pens as your workhorse.
And I'm like,
okay,
okay, this is all right.
And speaking of Brian, I do have a Pelican that's probably going to be coming back to you with the Hudsons.
Yeah.
On that nib, and I think you're in good shape.
You know what? I'm reading what people are saying in the chat, and since you already mentioned the price, let's go ahead and do a introductory offer of $140.
Okay.
And then if you decide you want to raise the price, then the people who got early and took the risk on
introductory price.
I'd rather do that than start high and go down, and the people who got it first to feel like they got cheated.
You know what? I think that's a good idea. And then if I decide or we decide that it goes up, then that's just a risk we'll take. You know what? And I apologize, people. Obviously, we're doing this on the fly, and we're just thinking out loud.
Everybody watching this video, this is literally like we're coming up with this right now on the spot. I didn't even know that Brian would be here in the broadcast
tonight. This is like the big business dealings here.
Yeah, this is like the CEOs going back and forth and wheeling and dealing.
The CEOs, but where we work out of garages.
Yeah, pretty much.
I don't even know which one of us is the CEO.
I don't know.
Are we co-CEOs?
I guess so.
CC.
I think I'm CEO. You're C.
I'm C everything else.
So.
No, that's E. CEO.
Yeah, well, hey, Rachel, I think that's a great idea. And again, thanks for saying that now that we, since we are basically spitballing on the spot, I think that 140 is a good way to go. And if we decide to bring it up, then we'll just, no big deal on that.
Who is the COO? I don't know. I guess that's you.
I'm the COO. I run things out in the shop.
I'm the CEO. I'm majority owner.
CIO?
I'm the CIO.
Yeah.
Chief Information Officer.
Yeah.
I'm the webmaster.
Okay.
I am the CFO. I'm the CPO. I am the CHCO, Chico, Human Capital Officer.